Favorite type of story that I like to talk about: corruption. Yeah. Quartering tonight. Who's the quartering? Did I talk about the quartering? I don't think so, Chris. I don't really talk about the drama stuff on YouTube per se. I kind of stay away from it. I try to focus on more news stuff and everything. And there's other channels I'll go on and talk about stuff, but I try to stay away from the drama stuff, internet drama stuff. But anyway, here we go. Breaking: former Santa Cruz County Treasurer Elizabeth Gutfar. Okay, yes, Dave. On my channel, I try to stay away from the drama stuff. I try to just focus on news. That is correct. Former Santa Cruz County Treasurer Elizabeth Gutfar, Democrat, of course, sentenced to 10 years in prison for stealing over $38 million in county funds. Hey, what TF? How you doing? Nice to see you. Thanks for those kind words you shared on YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate it. Gutfar served as treasurer from 2012 to 2024, where she reportedly embezzled and laundered nearly $40 million to accounts in the names of fake companies she had created that performed no legitimate business. She then used the money to purchase real estate, to renovate her family ranch, to pay expenses for her cattle business, and to buy at least 20 vehicles. Gutfar, who was also ordered to pay approximately $51.8 million in restitution to the Santa Cruz County and the United States Treasury. And this is what she looks like in it says 10 years. Okay. And then here's Dodge AI says Elizabeth Gutfar's decade-long $38.7 million theft from one of Arizona's poorest counties isn't just corruption, it's a systemic failure. The fact that she bypassed two-step approval process by hijacking a subordinate's credentials 187 times exposes laughable oversight. Santa Cruz County's lawsuits against the state auditor general proves negligence wasn't isolated. Agencies rubber-stamped her fraud while schools and fire districts bled, recovering $5.9 million up to $51.8 million owed. Pathetic. Real accountability means dismantling the culture that lets bureaucrats treat taxpayers' funds as personal slush funds. Audit every agency. And this is true. Like, they should really, Elon Musk should really probably have his guys just start looking at every government agency around the country. All of them, federal, state, locals, just get in there and look and see where the money's going and identify if there's fraud and try to find it, So it says right here, former Santa Cruz County Treasurer sentenced to 10 years in prison for stealing over $38 million in county funds. Elizabeth Gutfar, 63, of Rio Rico, Arizona, was sentenced on June 23rd, 2025 by United States District Judge Rosemary C. Marquez to 120 months in prison, so 10 years, followed by 3 years of supervised release. So you could steal $50 million and get 10 years? That's not really a bad trade-off, is it? I mean, that's $5 million a year. I mean, a lot of people would probably take that, $5 million a year for every year, get $5 million for every year you go to prison. I don't even think if we wrongfully, put somebody in prison wrongfully, I don't think they get that kind of money. Yeah. She pleaded guilty to embezzlement by a public official, money laundering, and tax evasion. Gutfar was also ordered to pay approximately $51.8 million in restitution to the Santa Cruz County and the United States Treasury. The people of Santa Cruz County and all Arizonans have a right to expect their elected leaders to serve with integrity and in the best interest of their constituents, said U.S. Attorney Timothy Corcoran, maybe? I don't know. It's Corcoran. Ms. Gutfar stole more than money from the people of her county. She betrayed the confidence of the voters who elected her. This sentence shows that the abuse of public trust will be punished. Ms. Gutfar will now be held accountable by using her official position for huge financial gain at the expense of the residents of Santa Cruz County, said FBI Phoenix Special Agent in Charge Heath Jenke. Hey, I knew a guy named Nick Jenke. I wonder if they're related. Each act of greed and dishonor negatively affected fundamental aspects of this county's operation. The FBI continues to investigate public corruption cases, and we remain committed to identifying and pursuing those who violate the public's trust. Miss Gutfar violated her sworn duty by enriching herself with the public money she was entrusted to protect. Special Agent in Charge, Carissa Messick of the IRS Criminal Investigative Phoenix Field Office said, taxpayers deserve to know that the elected leaders are working in the community's best interests, not just their own. IRS-CI remains committed to rooting out corruption at every level. According to the court documents, Gutfar, who served as Santa Cruz County Treasurer from 2012 to 2024, embezzled and laundered approximately $38.7 million by wiring public funds from Santa Cruz County's accounts to accounts in the names of fake companies she had created that performed no legitimate business. Gutfar then used the money to purchase real estate, to renovate her family ranch, to pay for expenses for her cattle business, and to buy at least 20 vehicles. 20 vehicles. Wow. That's 2 vehicles a year. That's a lot of vehicles. That's a lot of vehicles. I mean, that's a lot of vehicles to be paying insurance on vehicles. That's, Jesus, a lot of insurance. Man, oof. Can we get erection reform? Asking for a friend. I don't know if you meant to say election reform, but if you want erection reform, I think they make a little blue pill for that. Just saying. Gutfar's 10-year scheme involved approximately 187 wire transfers, which she was able to complete by undermining the 2-step approval process. She used a token of a subordinate employee so that she could both initiate and approve the wire transfers. To cover up the scheme, Gutfar falsified accounting records, cash reconciliation records, and records of the county investment accounts, thereby hiding the millions of dollars that she had stolen. Gutfar also failed to report any stolen funds as income for tax purposes. Also, not only did she I don't know. Menendez, I don't think actually stole any money, Chris. I think he just took bribes, is what they said. He took several $1 million in bribes from Egyptians and some other countries. So I don't think Menendez stole this much. This was actually stealing the money. How many years did Menendez get? Did he get more than 10 years? So it says FBI and IRS CI conducted the investigation in this case. Assistant U.S. Attorney Jane L. Westby for the District of Arizona and Senior Litigation Counsel Nicholas W. Cannon of the Criminal Division's Public Integrity Section handled the prosecution. There's a case number and everything. So it says you want to go there and check it out. And so yeah, you think Menendez got 11 years, so he got a year more than this lady? I don't know. I guess our government feels that stealing their money isn't as bad as taking money from some other government, maybe. I don't know. Oh, and here's a story from the local news there that will.
In Santa Cruz County, the former county treasurer who stole more than $38 million from taxpayers is headed to prison. KGUN 9's Craig Smith has a look at Elizabeth Gutfar's sentence finally handed down today.
10 years of stealing taxpayer money has led to 10 years in prison for former Santa Cruz County Treasurer Elizabeth Gutfar. As Elizabeth Gutfar headed to federal court, she knew her attorney and prosecutors had agreed to ask the judge for no more than 6.5 years in prison for stealing more than $38 million in public money. But Judge Rosemary Marquez applied some aggravating factors that kicked the sentence to 10 years to run at the same time as 2 other lesser sentences. Gutfar is in federal custody now. These are pictures of her in November as she pleaded guilty to embezzlement and tax evasion.
She looks different than the picture that they showed on this other one. Wait a minute. Oh, maybe that's an old picture.
She stayed free at that time, in part to help efforts to sell things bought with stolen money and get that money back to Santa Cruz County. The inventory includes a large ranch with luxurious ranch house. Gutfar and her attorney said she's...
Yeah, Dave, I actually was just going to talk about that lady, the Dixon, same type of thing, stole a bunch of money. And if I'm not mistaken, Biden pardoned her or commuted her sentence. She was one of the ones that he let go. The woman that stole all the money from Dixon, Illinois. Yeah, same type of thing there. What are you gonna do? What you gonna do? That was a crazy story, that one. But same type of thing, you know.
truly sorry, but prosecutors pointed out she had plenty of time for a conscience to kick in during 10 years of sending taxpayer money to her personal accounts. People from Santa Cruz County came to Tucson federal court to see what Gutfar's punishment would be. Bonnie Teachbury was thinking about money Gutfar took not being available for schools that needed repairs.
I like the fact that she got restitution. And I like the fact that the judge mentioned she had cried about her grandchildren, but she said the kids in Santa Cruz County are outside playing in the sun because of the money she took from the citizens.
Wendy Isla says the case is more than a matter of missing money. It's missing trust in all of Santa Cruz County government.
I think that mistrust is going to last quite some time. People want to see transparency. People want to see accountability. There are other incidents in our county that contribute to that. So absolutely, unfortunately, it will be a lasting effect.
Gutfar's attorney said she was not thinking clearly and thought she could use the stolen money to build an ideal life for her family, then make enough in business ventures to repay the money before anyone noticed. Her sentence requires her to pay more than $13 million in back income taxes and pay back the more than $38 million she stole. A specialist appointed in a related court case has been working to recover the money, but so far estimates he might be able to recover only about a third of what Gutfar stole. At Tucson Federal Court, Craig Smith, KGUN 9.
That's horrible, right? So yeah, so just basically the same story going over. So she stole all this money. She got to, it says here, she got to stay free for many months because they wanted her to help sell the stuff. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah, so she got to stay free for months after convicted. Large ranch. Her own defense attorney, Josh Hamilton, described her crimes as one of the dumbest, ill-conceived, short-sighted, and most audacious crimes in Arizona state history. That's only because she got caught. If she didn't get caught, they would have said it was brilliant. And that Garford did very little to cover up her crimes, but they still went undiscovered for roughly 10 years. So her attorney's saying she was a shitty criminal and she didn't cover up her crimes, so he could have told her how to do it better, maybe. Oh. Suspicious. In court, just before sentencing, Gutfar, an attorney, said she's truly sorry that she got caught, but prosecutors pointed out she's had plenty of time for her conscience to kick in. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the mistrust is going to last quite some time. People want to see transparency. You know, I mean, and I saw a story too a couple days ago about some guys in New York. I think it was two different train stations that they had stolen money and built apartments in the train stations that nobody knew about and they were living in. I mean, we saw all the stuff with Doge. You know, they were discovering, billions of dollars that were just going out that nobody had any clue where it was going and no recollection of how it was being spent or what it was for. So this is just to be expected. There's really no other answer for this. So.